going on, everybody? I am Tiffany B from the Stats on Stats podcast, and today I'm here with DEM Tech Folk.
This is Reginald from DEM Tech Folks Podcast.
And we are at BSides St. Pete, and we're talking to everybody we can to find out what they love about this conference this year. And with us today, we have someone who's going to tell us a little bit about himself.
Well, hi, I'm Daniel Lowrie. I am a trainer with ACI Learning, formerly known as ITProTV, and I do a little bit of the cyber stuff, and it's a lot of fun to come to things like BSides and hang out, listen to talks, and meet cool people.
Okay, awesome. You say you do training, used to be ITProTV. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
All right. Well, I worked in IT for quite a few years. Started at help desk, moved my way up into infrastructure, doing systems and network administration for an insurance company. And then a friend of mine named Don Pizzette gave me a call one day and said, hey, we built this training company, him and another friend of ours. We think you'd be good at it. You should come and check it out. So I said, all right, see what's up. So I went and checked it out. He had me get in front of the camera, put a microphone on and teach something. And I was like, okay, this is all right. And he goes, you should come on, you should do this with us. Go quit that admin job, forget that. Which training's where it's at. Mm-hmm. And I said, nah, I'm good. And he goes, all right. Well, our other friend, Tim, he goes, what do you mean no? What are you talking about no? Think about it, tell me again. So he twisted my arm and I came on and I said, well, what are we gonna do here? He goes, let's make the training we wish we would have had. I said, I can get down with that. I can totally get down with that. I like this idea. He said, if you can show it. If you just can only talk about it, make some great, visuals. We want to be a visual format. We want to make sure that when we're talking about something, it's not just a theory. It's something that people can put their hands on and do and get that experience. So I was really down with that.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we've had a lot of professors, a lot of trainers and stuff like that, but you're, I think, one of the first ones we had to actually create visual content, which is absolutely amazing. So what does like a typical day for you look like?
So it's a lot of lab building,
right?
When you tell people to build a home lab, you're like, I do this every day. This is something like, if you've never done it before, yes, it can be scary and kind of daunting, but it's okay to break it. It's okay to get it wrong. You're going to learn from that. I always say that that Thomas Edison approach to fail your way forward, right? Go ahead and do it and feel the pain of failure and then go, let that be a prod to move you forward. It's a learning experience. It's not a failure because you're not done yet, right? It's just you're getting experience on what not to do and some of what to do. And then you take what you did learn from what to do and you build upon it. And then you do it again. Honestly, like in this game, if you give up, if you just go, that was hard, I got to back away from this, you're not going to succeed. It's just how it is. No one's going to walk over and hand you on a platter the time and effort it takes to get into cybersecurity. That is your journey, and it's a one fits one kind of thing. So just revel in that. To me, that's the best part of it. So my day every day is building a lab, figuring out, okay, well, I'm teaching for a certification. Maybe it's Security Plus or CISA Plus or Pentest Plus or maybe CEH, or maybe I'm doing something custom with cloud pen testing or hardware hacking or whatever. I'm sitting down in a room, I'm buying cheap stuff I can break, and I'm using that experience to build a course so that it's easier for you. I can just kind of give you the list of things, and now you just have to go and do it.
So I'm really, really liking what you're saying. I can see the passion in your eyes and stuff like that. But I kind of want to know, from everything that you're saying, what is that growth mindset and where does it come from?
I don't know. I've just always been this way. I've almost
I woke up like this.
So I remember as a kid kind of figuring out the fact that I'm like, wow, I get really hyper focused on things. Something will be interesting to me and the world shuts off and I'm just laser beam focused on it until I feel satisfied or something else. I had a really problem like kind of keeping it focused as a young person. Now that I'm older, I'm more mature and I have that capability going, no, we have to continue down this road until that's done. You can't squirrel, no squirrel moments.
Squirrel.
Okay, here we go. No, it's right here. Eat what's on your plate and then move on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. But it's just always kind of like a built-in thing. I'm not saying you can't develop that maybe, But when you find yourself doing that and you're doing it for the right thing, nurture it. Reward yourself like, oh man, I really stuck in on that Hack Me room and I didn't give up. I'm gonna go get my favorite pizza. I'm gonna go get my, whatever. Give yourself a little something to train yourself to like continually do that.
So we're gonna go comic book nerd.
Okay,
Is that your superpower?
Is that my superpower? Tenacity? It hasn't been in the past. I was always that person that started projects and never finished, right? And then I realized like I knew a little bit about a lot and I wanted to know a lot about a lot.
So how'd you overcome that?
I think it's because it became my job, right? And I was raised to, you always give 110% at what you do. You give your employer an honest day, a hard work. So when I started doing it as a job, I was like, I don't have the opportunity to just stop, right? They're not getting what they paid for out of me. So I didn't think that was fair. So that sense of honor to my employer, I guess, I just would continue on. I would never give up. And then I realized, when I don't give up on stuff and I complete things through to the end, I have something that's really interesting that I can display as something I did, and I can put my name on it, I can feel proud about it. My person that's employing me is really happy with the product that they got out of me, right? And then other people enjoy it as well. So it's like, I should just keep doing that. And I've learned, and I've grown, I've gotten better, and I can take that and then it's gonna be the platform for the next thing I do. So it always becomes like, I always ask people, so I do a lot of like interviews, but I also interview a lot of people as well, especially pen testers and red teamers and stuff. I know a lot of people in that space. And I always ask them, first question, are you satisfied with your level of skill? And if not, what are you doing to remedy that right now? And I don't care if they've been a pen tester or a red teamer for 20 years. They're like, nope, I need to get better at blank. And I'm taking this course, or I'm reading about this and that and the other. This is a constant learning kind of environment. And if you're not doing that, it's like a shark. If a shark stops swimming, kind of dies, right? You cannot sit still on this. It's constantly evolving. So that's the good news is that it keeps us interested. There's always something new to learn and be interested in and do. On the other hand, there's always something to learn and be interested in to do. It's like, geez, Marvin, I feel like I made it to the mountaintop. Oh, they put this on my plate. Now I got to do this. So.
Okay, so with you being an instructor at
ACI Learning, formerly ITProTV.
They got that.
Yeah.
Okay, with you being an instructor,
Yeah.
when it comes to giving advice about like, okay, focus on training, and these are the things that are beneficial for you in the cybersecurity or the IT network.
Yeah.
What do you usually give people as advice to stay focused?
To stay focused, kind of like, we kind of made fun of squirrel moments. But you ever find yourself on Wikipedia and you're like, I don't know what that is. I don't look this up. Wikipedia is typically one of the first things that kind of pops up for most things.
YouTube does that for me.
YouTube, same kind of idea, right? And then you're reading through the article, you're watching the video, and they hit on something else you don't know, and you go, oh, I got to click on that link and go there. That's kind of an organic learning path, and I really like that. For kids, they call it unschooling. It's where you're just kind of like, hey, go learn this. Or what are you interested in? So follow your passions. If it's something you need to learn, obviously you're going to have a little more structure, but make time for what you are passionate about and see how you can incorporate the two things together. Right? So hopefully they're tertiary. If not, what are you going to do? You can try to shoehorn it in, but sometimes that doesn't work out. But a lot of times, as long as you're doing something that kind of they've done studies on people and that it's hard for the human mind to stay focused for longer than like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it is. And then if you take a 5-minute break or a 10-minute break and you re-engage for 30 minutes, you start to have much higher retention. Right? And then you take a break after that for 10 minutes, and you come back in for 15 minutes, and then you continually just take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Your brain retains more, and you stay more engaged.
It sounds like you're talking about the Pomodoro.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's for people like, some people I know who have a hard time just staying.
It can be a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie. And honestly, that's why we make the training the way we do. I get a lot of people, I've been stopped by plenty of people at this con and on lots of cons that I go to. They say, I got my CISSP because of your training. I got my Security Plus because of your training. And I found it really easy to stay engaged.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was off in my head or I was drifting off about what I was going to have for lunch or whatever. It was a lot of fun. I crack a bunch of dumb jokes and I act silly,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of a ham and a character. I get it. My wife gets on me all the time about it, right? I get it. Yeah, I'm a strange person, but you know what's funny about that is even if I make a dumb joke, like a dad joke or whatever, it's usually tied to something very important, and you won't forget it. You'll stay engaged because either you like it or you hate it. It keeps you engaged. It keeps you going, I'm watching this, I'm listening, and I'm taking it in. I try to make it like I'm having a conversation with you, not just you and you, right? It's not, oh, here are the 4 pillars of cybersecurity, which you need to know. Pillar 1. It's like, that is boring as all get out, right? No one wants to watch that training, and we've all had to do it, right? That is not fun. What I go is, let's say we're going to go through pen testing methodology, and I'm going to say, all right, step 1, we got to do pre-engagement. Here's all the fun paperwork and administrative things you have to do. It's really, really boring, but it's really, really important, and here's why, right? And then, let's build a statement of work. Let's do that. Mm-hmm. And now it's not just a concept in your mind. You've actually kind of stepped through, like, okay, I got my Google Sheets up here, and or my docs, and I'm gonna make the statement of work, and okay, these are the clients, this is me, and put a name, a date, and a client number. Even though it's all fake and contrived, it doesn't matter. It's all fake and contrived. It just happens to apply to a real situation if you're in the business, and it's just for learning purposes if you're training.
I can see why you're an instructor. My goodness, you are very, very passionate and animated. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna take that because I was sitting here and I'm like, I'm just having fun listening to you talk, and I'm thinking about the fact that you said when you started training, like it wasn't even a thought in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
So like, how did you, I think, kind of come into this, like the way that you teach?
I think for me, it's always been a natural thing. It's just how I am. I come from a big family, right? I'm the youngest of 6, and my oldest siblings are much older than me. They already had siblings by the time they had children by the time I was born, right? So I was born with built-in nieces and nephews and cousins and all sorts of fun stuff, right? Because of that large family and very large personalities, if you wanted to get something said, you had to learn how to say it, and you had to get it in there. And we all prided on ourselves on the ability to communicate, to use language to convey the thoughts that were in our heads. Even though I came from a blue-collar background. My dad was a truck driver, my brother was a boilermaker, iron worker, right? I was a bridge builder for a while, carpenter helper, did painting. I come from a blue-collar background, and one day I was in North Florida, middle of summer,
right,
painting a house on the 2nd floor. Up on the roof, it's about 125 degrees, and I'm starting a heat stroke. And I come down off the roof, my brother's sitting under the shade, he's like, hot? I go, yeah, it's super hot. He goes, what are you doing here? You're too smart for this.
wow,
Get out of this, man. Go do something with your mind. And I said, you know what, he's right. I think I'll do that. And then I just started learning computers because it was interesting to me ever since I was a kid. And here I am.
Aww.
Again, it's tenacity, right? You just don't give up. You put one foot in front of the other, eat what's on your plate, and then move that plate out of the way and get the next thing. And you just keep going. You constantly are kind of keeping the big picture in your periphery, right, out on the horizon. You're like, yeah, that's where I'm going. But if you're constantly just looking at this and moving, okay, I've got to learn what SSRF is. All right, I'm going to sit here in my dungeon and I'm going to learn what SSRF is until it makes sense to me. And I'm going to move that plate out of the way. And I'm going to bring, okay, now it's SSTI. Cool, I got to learn what that. All right, now I got to do CSRF. Now I got to, and you just keep, and then you look up and you go, whoa, the horizon's gotten a whole lot closer.
you're relating to food. I love it.
Yeah, I love food. It's right here. It sticks to the ribs. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Couldn't find a shirt myself here.
Man, that brisket truck down there had my name all over it.
Oh my gosh. And I'm a foodie too, so there we go. Like, we really appreciate you coming to talk
This is a lot of fun.
DEM Tech Folks and Stats on Stats podcast.
It was a pleasure.
This has been great. Any final questions?
No, sir. I mean, I think we've covered a lot here, and I think that people that listen to you are really going to enjoy what you're trying to say.
Well, check me out. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm happy to connect or give me a follow.
Could you please tell them where to find you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, just my name. Look me up on LinkedIn. I'm Daniel Lowrie, Lowrie. I also have a YouTube channel under the same name. So
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. I guess we'll see you next time.
Bye.